So the new Wolverine game for a PlayStation 5 is supposed to come out in 2026 next year, and I don't think an official release date has yet been revealed, but yeah, it's a big deal because it's one of the next like major action adventure superhero titles that we're going to be getting from Insomniac Games, Sony, and a lot of people are wondering whether or not it'll be able to touch Spider-Man 2 in terms of sales. That's something I'm not entirely certain about because obviously Spider-Man's a bigger name than Wolverine is in the Marvel universe, along with the fact that Spider-Man has been more culturally relevant within the past couple of decades. You look at all the films that he's had, the films that he had in the 2000s and the teens, and some of the more recent films that he had. All of them were big deals. Um, I don't know. A lot of people are kind of, they're kind of iffy about the Amazing Spider-Man series. They thought the first film was good, but the second one kind of sucked, depending on who you asked. And the third one was whatever. Um, the Spider-Man films from the 2000s were fun, maybe with the exception of the third one, which I think gets way too much hate. But yeah, I mean, you look at Wolverine and his last big film. It was the one from last year with Wolverine and Deadpool. Did over 1 billion in box office success. A lot of people said it was good. I have yet to see it, but yeah, for the most part, like Wolverine is one of the more popular characters of the Marvel franchise. He's definitely the most popular member of the X-Men. And when you look at X-Men in general, I mean, nothing has really been done with the X-Men series as of late, aside from X-Men 97, which is on Disney Plus. But the thing is, I heard like recently that a lot of people have been canceling their Disney subscriptions because of various controversies that the company has been involved in as of late, and all the stuff that's coming out about them that they've been involved in over the past several years. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Wolverine, for the most part as a character, I feel like he's definitely one that would cater more towards adults than Spider-Man would, because obviously um the Wolverine game for the PlayStation 5 is supposed to be M-rated. It's hack and slash. You can kill a lot of people. It's bloody and gory for those who have not seen the trailers and all that stuff. But I feel like the more mature tone is something that's going to contribute to the appeal the of the Wolverine PS5 game, the combat system, all that stuff. And we all know that Insomniac has a good track record of putting out high profile action adventure games, but some of the things that people are going to probably be pissed about is the fact that there's going to be a limited like open world like environment compared to what you've seen in the first two Spider-Man video games. And that's mainly because unlike Spider-Man, Wolverine can't like swing through cities and stuff like that. Um, I think gameplay repetition is it could be a problem in this game if I guess Sony doesn't do anything to try and change things up and to make it stand out in comparison to that of like the Spider-Man games. And and yeah, I mean, I feel like with this whole thing, I feel like they have to do something that captures the feel of, I guess, Wolverine as a character, and at the same time, like do it in a way that doesn't insult players' intelligence, and it's something that I guess people can instantly sink their teeth into, like the plot and the gameplay, and even like the side quests for that matter. And like based off of what I heard, like the story is supposed to be about like Wolverine trying to discover like secrets from his past and all that. And at the moment, I don't know exactly like who the main villain is supposed to be. There are like various candidates as who the main villain could be. A lot of people are speculating that could be a Mega Red. It could be Sabretooth, Mystique, Bastion, Bolivia Trask. A lot of names have been thrown around as to who the villain could be, but I'm not. I'm not entirely sure who they're going to go with. Um, to me, Omega Red would make a lot of sense because that's one of his most fiercest, enemies, and we all know about the long-standing, feud between Wolverine and Sabretooth. But but yeah, there's a lot of directions they can go with this game. And I know for a fact this is going to do better than X-Men Origins from 2009. And for those who don't know, we had gotten a Wolverine game back in '09, X-Men Origins Wolverine, that it was released for like the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. A lot of people said that the uncaged version of that game was okay, but then every other version sucked. And and I don't know, since then we haven't gotten like a major Wolverine game or anything like that, because I think a few years later they started shifting more focus towards like Spider-Man and even like Deadpool. Because I remember Deadpool was um he was popular for like a few years during, I want to say, like the early to mid teens. And I don't know, I just feel like, Deadpool has not, been the same, and you don't hear hardly anyone talk about him as much as they did. I'm not going to go on record and say that Deadpool has like peaked in popularity just yet, because it's always possible there could be like a resurgence or what have you. But obviously, Marvel and Sony, they're focusing more on Wolverine and trying to make him the second biggest like superhero behind Spider-Man in terms of mainstream appeal, and trying to like drawing casuals and stuff like that. But I don't know, can the Wolverine game surpass the Spider-Man 2 game that we got in 2023? Can it surpass the Spider-Man game that we got in 2018 for the PlayStation 4? I have no idea, because thus far Marvel Spider-Man 2 has done like 11 million units in like 2 years in terms of sales, and the original Spider-Man game from 2018 sold like 20 mil on the PlayStation 4. So I don't know. Those two games set the bar really high. Um, I could see this game doing at least like 5 mil within a year. I'm hoping, that's the case, because a lot of video games, for the most part, a lot of new ones, they have a hard time surpassing 3 or 4 mil. This, I can see it doing at least 5 mil, because there's been a lot of anticipation for this particular game. We have been seeing like trailers and screenshots for this game since like 2021. So obviously, this is something that has been that Insomniac Games and Sony has been hyping up for quite some time. And better yet, I don't think they have to worry about any competition in the future, because um, I guess the biggest competitor to, I guess, the Spider-Man series, at least back in the teens, in my opinion, was Warner Brothers with Rocksteady Studios, because they were the ones who were responsible for the Batman Arkham series. In fact, the original Spider-Man game from 2018, the Marvel Spider-Man game, actually drew inspiration from the Arkham series and pretty much expanded upon it. And we were supposed to get like a new Batman game, or at least that's something that had been rumored on various gaming sites. But like, considering the situation that that we're dealing with Warner Brothers, and them being bought out and the company being up for sale, we have no idea what the future of Warner Brothers is going to look like. They had reportedly rejected like several buyout attempts from Paramount, so we have no idea who they're going to be owned by in the future. We have no idea whether or not they're going to want Warner Brothers games anymore, because obviously Warner Brothers games have lost millions of dollars within the past couple of years. And whoever decides to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, they're going to see Warner Brothers games as a liability, and they're going to try and get rid of it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think Insomniac or Sony has to worry about Warner Brothers or Rocksteady or anything like that in terms of competition. I feel like um, the PlayStation 5 and Sony is going to be, it's going to be like the main console where you get to check out high profile action adventure games. And we're supposed to be getting a Blade game sometime in the future as well, and we're supposed to be getting a Blade movie as well. I haven't heard too many details about it. I haven't seen any trailers or anything about the film or anything like that. I haven't seen any gameplay footage about the Blade video game at all. But the Wolverine game surpasses Spider-Man 2 is something it's very subjective and it's hard to predict because who knows, maybe 6 months from now, um, the Marvel Spider-Man 2 game will reach like 15 million units in sales or something like that. So I feel like the number is going to keep changing to a point where it's almost impossible. And by the time the Wolverine game comes out, it's going to be like an uphill battle for that game to try and catch up to Marvel Spider-Man 2 in terms of sales.